Hey everybody, I'm live and I'm testing out the new Starlink. I got it running here, just turned it on for the first time, so we will see how it works. I'm just at my hotel here in Miami, but I've got a mission to undertake. I only got to be home for about 24 hours, but I got a phone call from somebody who needed my help, and I couldn't turn him down. So I'm going to go help out my buddy for a couple of days, and I should be back later in the week. But with this Starlink, hopefully I'll be able to go live from where I'm going. I just don't want to tell you about it just yet because because of operational security reasons. It's been a absolute crazy travel experience here. I just traveled 29 hours from Jordan back to visit them for about 24 hours, and then they all went their separate ways. And I got this phone call. I was gonna stick around in the States for about a week and take care of a few things, but I got this kind of emergency last minute call from a friend of mine who really needs my help. So I'm gonna go help him out. And I'm, like I said, can't too much about this mission until we get out there and kind of see what the security situation is going to be like. Let's do a quick update on what's going on in Israel. We are looking at that Hezbollah successfully managed to strike a military base in just south of Haifa a couple days ago, and unfortunately took out about 4 IDF soldiers and wounded like 70. Now, I looked into this, what it was, whether it was a missile or a drone. Turns out it was a drone, and it was actually a pretty old drone. It was a drone that was built in the 1980s. It's a Iranian drone that can carry a fairly large warhead for a drone, about 50 kilogram warhead. And it's just kind of low and slow. It's a dumb drone. It's nothing like some of the more advanced drones that we're seeing these days in Ukraine and Russia use, adapted for Hezbollah. They've probably had these for some time, I mean decades. And I know of 2, this is the second one so far that they've used in this war. But this one managed to make it through all of the air defenses, probably because it was so low and so slow. Somebody's asking what I know, this lone lost prince. I don't know much about the prince. Probably because it was so low and slow, they were unable to stop it, and unfortunately caused a mass casualty event inside Israel. Now, for a while they were saying that it might be a fiber optic drone, and let me just explain what those are, because these are kind of a new development in the drone world, and they're kind of crazy. Actually, it's kind of amazing to think about. They are coming out with drones now that do not have a wireless link. Most drones, they've got a receiver or a transmitter on the drone, a receiver on the control unit, and they communicate wirelessly using a kind of high-speed form of Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and like DJI drones, which is the typical drone that you get off the shelf at Best Buy or something like that. They can go about up to 15 kilometers with this Wi-Fi. That's pretty far. 15 kilometers, like 7 miles. Okay, and that's good. But the problem is that they're easily jammed. Any kind of electronic warfare jamming, especially military-grade electronic jamming, is going to turn those drones right off or take them away. Even DJI sells a device for governments to buy that can see any DJI drone that's in the area, and if it sees one, it can take it over and bring it back to the like this device rather than the person who owns the drone. Panama has these. If you try to fly your drone in Panama near an airfield, it'll just fly away on you. and you'll get a phone call from the airport saying, hey, come pay your fine and get your drone back, because they'll steal it from you. So anything with a wireless connection like that is easy to steal, and because of that, it's you know, not very secure. And they've been using wireless drones in the war in Ukraine ever since the beginning. But now they're starting to come out with fiber optic drones. So they're called fog drones, fiber optic guided fog. And these fog drones actually have a very, very thin fiber optic cable that connects the drone to the controller. And it's on a spool. It's like fishing line. Think of it like fishing line. But these fishing lines can be like up to 30 miles long, if you can believe that. I mean, think of your fishing pole at home. You know, your fishing pole might have, what, a couple hundred yards of fishing line on it. Think of a fishing line, a spool that would have 30 miles of fishing line on it. And this drone connects directly to that fishing line and then flies out 30 miles. Well, because it's connected to the drone like that, via that fiber optic guidance link, it can't be it can't be thwarted by electronic warfare. So electronic jamming signals don't do anything to it. And Russia is starting to come out with these things. Ukraine is starting to come out with these things, and they're very dangerous because they don't have really any countermeasures for these things right now. You can't really fry them, right? And so they're much harder to see. You know, drones are very small. They're not going to show up on radar or anything like that. And so either you have to see them with your naked eye and try to shoot them, which is very hard to do, or it's like a tow missile, or you have to, jam them with some kind of electronic jamming, and these ones just can't be jammed. So for a while they thought that this drone that hit the military base, it hit a chow hall, a cafeteria on the military base while they were eating, and that's why it hurt more than 70 people, and killed 4. Terrible, terrible day for Israel. But so they thought that it might be one of these fog drones, but it wasn't. It was just a very low, very slow, old-fashioned Iranian drone. And let's hope they don't have a whole lot of those in their arsenal, right? So hang on a second. Now, I want to thank all of you who donated to get me a Starlink, because this is my very first live with my brand new Starlink. I'll show it to you here. It's sitting on the desk. It's plugged into the wall over here at my hotel, and I just connected it for the first time, and it's working like a charm. It is working like a charm. It has got a very good signal. I should be able to connect from almost anywhere in the world with this thing, even if I'm out in the jungle, if I'm somewhere with no cell phone signal. It shouldn't matter. The only drawback is I have to be outside, and it has to have a clear view of the sky, which, in some places, like in the jungle, that might be difficult, right? Where Bashir Asante and what you're doing, do not see him in the news at all. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. What's the speed on the Starlink? Right now, I'm getting about 30 megabits per second upstream bandwidth and about 160 megabits downstream. I wish it was the other way around, because I really care about the upstream bandwidth and not the downstream bandwidth. But 30 is pretty good. I mean, I can get YouTube Live done with about 10 or even less sometimes, although it's not real stable. So 30 is plenty to be able to do a live, and that makes me very happy. So it's about $165 a month for unlimited streaming anywhere in the world. And like I said, I'm about to leave the United States again after only being in the U.S. for about 24 hours. And so I will let you know how it works. If I come up live in the next 2 days, it'll be on the Starlink. I can almost guarantee it. So very exciting there. Have to test it out in a few different places and see how it works. So I want to say thank you to all of you who donated to help me get the Starlink. Y'all were very generous, and I will do my best to make the most of it by doing a lot of really good lives from really interesting places for you soon. Now, I want to see, do I have my glasses with me? Yeah, I do. Hang on a second. Let me put my glasses on here, and I can read your questions better. It was a long flight home, let me tell you. Carol from Nevada here. You'll be praying regularly for your health and safety. Thank you. I'm going to need it. The place where I'm going is literally one of the most dangerous places on planet Earth. And like I say, I can't really talk about it until after we get there, just for security reasons. Kidnapping is a growth industry in the place where I'm going. Jesus freak thinks Elon is the Antichrist. Well, if he is, we're going to use his Starlink to spread the gospel. So how about that? Yeah, now all these people hate Elon Musk. Look, technology is not immoral or moral. It's amoral. It's just how you use it. So the speeds are about 30 megabits per second. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's very small. It's about the size of my laptop, which is excellent. This is the Mini, the Starlink Mini. Now, let's talk about UNIFIL for a second. It's turning out, to nobody's surprise at all, that UNIFIL, the United Nations organization in Lebanon, which is tasked with making sure that Hezbollah is not attacking Israel from south of the Litani River in Lebanon. The UNIFIL stands for United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. They call it the Interim Force like it's only going to be temporary, but it actually has been there since the 1970s, so it's not very temporary. And they've spent something like $480 million a year, and about a quarter of that comes from the United States. And their main mission is to keep Hezbollah from attacking Israel and keep Israel from attacking Hezbollah. Well, they have been finding, as Israel is pushed into Lebanon, all over the border area there are these UNIFIL bases. And right next to the bases, they're finding tunnels, they're finding weapons caches, they're finding firing points, missile launch sites and stuff like that. And so obviously it's becoming very clear, like I said, to nobody's surprise, that UNIFIL is exactly like UNRWA in that they are all in the tank against Israel and for whatever terror organization is nearby. UNIFIL is United Nations force. Doesn't have American troops, but it has troops from Ireland, Senegal, China, Indonesia, places like that. Places, many of them that don't know what peace looks like, with the possible exception of Ireland. And these guys now are saying, well, Israel has to stop doing this because we got to do our job now. All of a sudden, they're very conscientious about doing their job in southern Lebanon and stopping Israel from fighting Hezbollah, when they had no problem letting Hezbollah fight Israel all this time, for decades. And the Israelis are telling UNIFIL, get your people out of the way, because we are going to go in and clean out these rat's nests of Hezbollah terrorists. And if they happen to be on a UNIFIL base, well, your guys are going to be in the way. And they've already had a couple of UNIFIL soldiers that were wounded because of that. And the UNIFIL is saying, nope, we're not going to leave. And Ireland is like, we are willing to sacrifice the lives of our soldiers to stop Israel from fighting in Lebanon. Like, they didn't care a bit about Hezbollah fighting in Lebanon, but now they're all worried about Israel fighting there. So, yeah, go figure. Bunch of jackwagons. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. I'm just a question. Where am I going next? I cannot say, but I am headed to one of the most dangerous places on planet Earth, to help out a friend of mine who has a very important mission to get accomplished. And it's just going to take us a couple days, so we're going to go down there. Believe me, it's going to be awesome. Once I get the footage out, it's going to be an exclusive, and you're going to be blown away by what we're about to do. If we can survive it, it'll be fantastic. Was I in West Virginia? No, I was not. I was in Savannah, Georgia. What's the name of the book about the Mossad I read? It's called Rise and Kill First. Let's see here. I'm scrolling back here to hit these questions. Any update on possible Israel attack on Iran? Yes, the update is that Benjamin Netanyahu has given the IDF the go-ahead to attack when they are ready. So it's going to happen soon. Decided what they're going to attack. They're getting their troops all in place, and Netanyahu has okayed the mission, green-lighted the mission. All they have to do is pull the trigger now. And so we're just waiting to see when that happens. So folks, we got 2,000 people online. Please go do me a favor and hit the like button right now. It does help, and it shows this video to a lot more people. You guys doing this has made this channel punch way above its weight in terms of the number of people who see our lives. I'm having about the same number of people as a channel with over 1 million subs on it is having on its lives, and that's all because you go hit the like button and share this and subscribe to the channel. So please subscribe. Only about half of the people who are watching this right now are actually subscribed to the channel. So it does help if you will go subscribe. And one of the things I've been doing on all these airplane rides that I've been taking over the last several days is working on finishing up the book. It's going to be about how to survive the post-election chaos that is about to happen. We've got less than a month left before the elections. No matter who wins, it's going to be absolute chaos, I believe, after the election. And you're going to need to be prepared for what comes next. And not just prepared for the chaos after the election, but prepared for the new America that you live in right now. America has changed. It is not the America that we grew up in, and it's very important that you prepare yourself for what comes next. So I've been interviewing people like Tim Miller and other preparedness specialists, and I've been making lots of notes, and I've been putting this book together, and I'm going to combine it all together into one manuscript and put it out as an actual book, and it's going to be for sale on Amazon, but you can get the notes for this for free. Well, not for free, but I mean, if you can get it a lot cheaper if you go and subscribe to chuckholton.com. It's $7 a month, and you don't have to, keep doing it if you don't want to. But if you support my work, you're going to get the notes before they get published, and it's powerful stuff, folks. The feedback from people who have already read the documents has been overwhelmingly positive, and they're saying that this is exactly what they need right now to be prepared for post-election chaos. So will you miss my comments about my grandchildren? No, I did go get to see my grandkids for one day. We only had one day to be together, and then I have to leave and go to this place. Is a Saudi prince an ally of Israel and to the USA? Well, the Saudis get a lot of money from the United States and a lot of military equipment, and they need the United States. They also realize that from an economic standpoint, it's a lot smarter to be friends with Israel than it is to be friends with Iran. And the Saudis do not like Iran. The Saudis are Sunni, the Iranians are Shia, and so they don't get along anyway, right? Hi, Chris. Thank you for being online. And so the Saudis are more friendly with Israel after the Abraham Accords than they are with Iran by a long shot, and they would like to keep, we'd all like to keep it that way, okay? All right, so we're coming up on 20 minutes. That was about all I wanted to do. I just wanted to test out this Starlink. Thank you again, all of you, for those of you who donated to this beautiful piece of equipment right here. This Starlink is plugged into the wall over there. It's tiny, it's light, it hardly weighs anything. It's about the size of my laptop. It slides right into my backpack. I don't have to have a separate bag for this thing. And I am really happy with it because this live has not skipped a beat. It has not stuttered right up until the point that somebody tried to call me on it. So it requires electricity to run. I can run it off a battery, but I don't have a battery. I've literally, this is the first time I've ever connected it. So you are the recipients of the very first live that I ever did with this Starlink, and it is beautiful. I've been doing some reading on it. I will get a battery pack for it so that I can run it when I'm out in the field. But right now I don't have one. Like I said, I literally just got it today. I had to hire a kid from West Virginia, where our lodge is, to go pick it up because it was shipped to my lodge. I had to hire a kid, a friend of my son, to drive over to our house and pick it up, get on an airplane, fly to Charlotte, deliver it to me in Charlotte, and then fly back to Beckley so that I could have it for this trip. So it wasn't cheap. I had to pay almost as much to deliver it to me as I paid to buy the thing, but it was worth it because I really wanted to have it for this trip, and we're going to need it where we're going. It's a pretty remote area. So stay tuned, and hopefully you'll see some amazing stuff because of this Starlink in the next couple of days. So that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please pray for us. We're going to a very dangerous place. And so I will try to give you more information as soon as it's safe to do so. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.